Hey guys, this is the Java Python here to show you how every command in Minecraft works. Now, if you think that some of these trees look daunting, by the way, the colored wool is only one command, all stems from one command based on the color. If you think that some commands then look daunting, like this one, don't be afraid. Some of these I learned tonight, so first let's cover some stuff. Command blocks, how do you get them? There are a few ways. This is what I typically use, give player command block. But there are others. There are 4 selectors, nearest player at P, at R is random, at A is all, and at E is any entity. Players count as an entity. If you want to see an entity, let's go summon and then hit tab, and you'll be missing player on that list, because that will work. And that's a list of all entities. And as you can see, here I have a command to demonstrate all selectors, but let's do it a bit by bit. Selectors first are at P, R, A, or E. Then there's constrictors or whatever in the square bracket, whatever it's called. The first 4, let's say I just do this, are automatically assumed to be the x coordinate is 12, the y coordinate is 234 for what I wrote, the z coordinate is 456, and the radius is 6. Okay, the next one, rm, is minimal. If I'm remembering this right, rm equals 15 means it have to be further than 15 blocks, but r equals 6 means it have to be within 6 blocks, so further than 3, less than 6. I hope I got that right. Okay, so that's some of the basics. Now, I have to refer to my list. So we just covered... Oh, whoa. Okay, so let's cover... You can use numbers, and then there are some other symbols you can use. You can use... you saw we were doing x equals 0. You can do x isn't 0. And also you could do x is tilde 5. Tilde is shift... whatever. Apostrophe. Yeah. And... No, accent. Shift accent. And... you'll get tilde. And that means relative to where it is. But okay, our list now is game mode count and experience. Okay, so the game mode could be 0 for survival, 1 for creative, 2 for adventure, 3 for spectator, and it's M for some reason, not G. M is not spectator mode. And the C is count. No spaces, just a single comma, no spaces between these things. C is count, and if you do say C is -1, the youngest of whatever it is. But 1, then L, I forget if it's XP or levels of XP, that's what it is, which one it is, but 15 experience, they have to have no more than 20 though. Or is it? It's same with radius. How that works. So if you want to see what we've already limited from this, we've just removed that much and put it right here. So now let's look at this. Oh, never mind. Don't put it there. So now we start at score. Now this goes along with scoreboard. You can have a score, underscore, score, then an underscore. Whatever your score name is or isn't, whatever, number. And then you can also have the score score name, and it can be a different score, is a minimum of whatever. That's how it works with scoreboard. Then you can also add in team, if they're on a team, the team name, and then the player name, all lowercase, which for me would be this. In here we have a Koof shout out over here, if he's on team blue, which doesn't exist. Okay, so then we have dx, dy, and dz, which is from this go 2 blocks in both positive and negative x, because that's, I put 2, 3 blocks in positive and negative y, and 4 in positive and negative z in a square region. Sorry, square, and that's how you can search in squares. Now Rx, RxM, Ry, and Rym. What this is the way you're looking on X. If I hit F3, it's facing these two numbers. What I'm looking, and then the minimum, or is it maximum? I can't remember. Sorry, check the wiki. Then RY, which is up and down, and I'm loading the wiki, guys. Maximum, whatever, and you make that equal to whatever you like. And then if you're using at E, which I have for most of these, you can add in type equals entity name. So let's go with cow, because that'll always work. Okay, here we are. Okay, so Gamepedia, commands, perfect. Already have it up. I'm a step ahead of the game. Actually, no, I just loaded. Okay, so let's start in actual commands. So there's achievement. It's alphabetical order, going down and then over here. Which you can give or take achievements. And let's demonstrate this. If I spell achievement right, achievement give. Now here's what I mean by stat system, okay? You saw how I got achievement dot. If I just hit tab, my game is gonna freeze for a bit because I'm recording as I do this. And we see this huge list. Craft item, use item, build item, place item. I think there's a bunch of stuff. What I'm going to do is give me achievement dot full beacon, and you'll notice I just got every achievement except one. If I do achievement take achievement dot open inventory, I just lost every single achievement, and I can get that again. As you can see, this is going to be a kind of spammy chat episode. Yeah. Okay, so let me check some stuff. For target selectors and the variables. No one wants to see that. Okay, R and RM is radius. Maximum radius, minimum radius. RM is minimum. Then experience is L max, LM min, minimum. So if there's an M, it's minimum, okay? If there's any confusion, M is minimum, which there probably was. Then there's block data, which is you target the block, a tile entity like a chest, and use NBT, which I'm not covering in this video what NBT is, to give it block data. This will clear whatever you selected of an item, the damage value, so like wool or a sword, this would be different, and how many, and then NBT if there is any. This is clone. This will let you copy or move a region of blocks to another place. You take the two things that surround it, and then this set is where you want to move it, and this area is how you want. You want to replace the area, masked or filtered, which means force it or put it there but don't destroy anything. Move it, remove the original, or force it, which is if it's in the same area as it was originally. This is debug. You can debug start, and after a while stop it, and it will debug your whole game, in theory. Or you can debug a chunk, and if you have a corrupted chunk, this will fix it, and the coordinates of the chunk. A chunk, let's go into this. If I type in this command, it'll be a bit easier. Game rule, reduce debug info, true. Notice this just went to chunk relative. So if I get to where that's 0, 0, which is somewhere over here, and move this way, you'll see it gets up to 15 on both numbers, and then it will reset to 0. And that's because a chunk is a 16 by 16 area. And yeah, that's how the game stores data. Default game mode, when a new player joins the map, what game mode are they in? Creative, adventure, survival, or spectator, and it works the same kind of way as game mode command, which I'll get to in a moment. My laptop is really hot. Difficulty can be 0 to 3, which is peaceful, easy, normal, and hard. And you can type that too, or just use the first letter. Effect is whoever with the effect name, how many seconds, level, and then show particles, true or false. Do you want the particles in their face? They can turn it off with particle command if they want. Entity data is @E, and then NBT, same with block data kind of. Execute @E has two possible functions. The more normal, execute @E, then which is relative to an entity. That's what execute is. Relative to an entity. And then this is where around the entity, tilde being relative to it, and @E being what entity, run this command. Or relative to the entity, detect around them if there is a block with a certain data value, and then run this command. This is game mode. You can use numbers, first letters, or the whole word, but they're only, and then you can assign it to be a player. This is game rule, which you might have seen earlier. These are all the game rules. Command block output means that if I hit a command block, power one of these command blocks, it's currently true, so the command block will say whether or not it worked. Do daylight cycle allows the sun to move. Do fire tick allows fire to burn and move, and like burn stuff down. Do mob loot allows for like zombie flesh to drop mobs. Spawning allows mobs to spawn in general. I'm in peaceful. Tile drops means when you break a block in survival or adventure, you get the item. Keep inventory means when you die, and this is assuming it's all true, except for do the daylight cycle, which I assumed was false. Keep inventory if you die, you don't lose anything. Log admin commands and send command feedback are kind of the same. It does the server, even in single player, get register the command. Random tick speed is how fast does the game calculate random ticks, and it's the only one that isn't true or false. It is a number. Reduce debug info tells us what the F3 screen is, and show death messages is when you die, does it say how you died and stuff. I have a blank command block. Am I missing a command here? I don't know, let's try it. Help 3, I think. Help 2. Game mode to game rule. What's after it? Give. Okay, give has the exact same syntax as the clear command. Help, you can, as I just showed, you can use the page number, which is currently in Minecraft 1.8, 1 through 7, or you can do help and then whatever command you need help with. Kill, and then you specify what entity. Me text, and you can do stuff like me has earned the I've meant help. And it'll say Java Python has earned the achievement help. It does have that. You can't get rid of that though, unless you're op. Particle is a cool command. It allows you to force particles. Here's a list of them. That's all your particles. Where you want them to appear, the square region around it, and then this, the smaller the number, the longer they stay. This is how long they stay, how many there are, and are they normal, which means the further away, the less of them render, or force. The player has to see them, as long as they have particles on. Play sound I've never understood, but in theory, you go play sound, and then you navigate to where the file itself is, the sound file. Play it to who, within this region, at what volume, how high pitched, and the minimal volume that gets played. Publish opens is kind of like open to LAN, but you won't be able to use commands if you do that. Replace item, entity, or block NBT. It's kind of like entity data and block data all in one, only it won't completely override whatever you have already there. It won't wipe anything you don't specify. It's a bit nicer. So here we've reached turnaround. We're about to go into a huge area. So say text. You just go say hi, and it says hi. It says you said it too. Okay, here's scoreboard. There are 3 main branches. There are only 3 branches. Scoreboard objectives. Let's start here. We can list all of the objectives that exist. I just unplugged my lamp. I can't see my keyboard. Don't expect me to type anymore. I didn't plan on plugging it. We can list them all. We can add them and give it a name. Okay, so once we've defined the name, what kind is it? We can use a stat system. It can be a dummy, which means it can't go up by any way except us controlling it through commands. It can be health, which means how many hearts I have. Max is the max is kind of 20, but with potion effects you can get more, or special armor. The player kill count, how many players have you killed, and a death count, how many times have you died since it was created. I think there might be more, but that's all I could find. The stat system overrode everything. You can remove an objective if you know its name, which tab autofills, so shouldn't be too hard. Then you can set display, which you can set the display of whatever the objective's name is to be below player name, but that only works in multiplayer. The tab list, if I hit tab when I'm not in chat, which will make the tab work in single player, or on the sidebar over here, where my mouse is, if you see it. And then you can do it for specific teams using the color system, which I'll demonstrate. Scoreboard, teams. Tell me I have a team. Okay, scoreboard, teams, add team. Scoreboard, teams, option, team, color. Though that is the color system, all these colors. Okay, so the next one is scoreboard players. Let's go to scoreboard teams. So there's join or leave a team. There's add and remove a team based on, and then it's team name in the code and the team name display name that everyone sees. You use, and it's who do you want to join or leave the team here. You can empty a team, force a team to have no players on it, even if those players aren't online. You can list all the teams, and then there's option, which goes on a bit. You can give it color, which is the color system, what I just showed. You can turn on friendly fire or turn it off. See friendly invisibles on your team. If someone on your team is invisible, you'll be able to see them a bit. It's kind of cool. I've used that effect a bit in maps where I give people constant invisibility, except they're wearing enough armor for mobs to track them, and they're in a team with see friendly invisibles, so you can see yourself. Let's actually visibles true and affect me. 999925. These are the max, because 9999 means it's infinite and 255 means it's guaranteed. And now I'm not on the team, but if I scoreboard teams join that one, you'll see a ghosty image of me. It's kind of like spectator mode. I'm leaving that on. There's then this option. These two options. Death message visibility and view name tag visibility. Hide for your own team, so you can't see name tags of people on your team. Hide for other teams. Other teams can't see name tags of people on your team. Always, you can't see anyone's name tags, and never, you can see everyone's name tags. This one is death message visibility, and it has the same thing. Never, always, hide for own team, hide for other teams. Okay, so this command is seed, and it'll give you the seed of the world. Like that's this one, if anyone cared. This is set block, and you set a block at the coordinates. You say what block, the block data, like the different kinds of wool, then whether you replace, destroy, or keep the item, and if it has MBT. Destroy will mean it drops an item. Set world spawn is the world spawn point chunks that are always loaded. Spawn point is the player spawn point. Spread players need some explanation. Okay, so X and Z are the center of it. It's a square area. The distance apart, okay? That's how far apart players end up. The max radius, how far from the X and Z they end up. And then, do you teleport them as teams or not? And I don't know what the player is. I think it's like specifying a player goes. Stats. Okay, there's stats block, XYZ, and stat entity, whatever entity. Okay, first thing, entity set and entity clear. Let's go to clear. You can clear query result of score name, whatever the score name is. That is like my scoreboard objective for this. I skipped something back in scoreboard. Hold on. There's stats entity clear affected entities score name. Then there's also success count, affected items, and affected blocks, and it's all the same over here. Query result, affected entities, items, blocks, and success count. And then we have block, which I'll get to in a moment because I skipped player. Scoreboard players. This is how we edit a scoreboard objective that's a dummy, or one of these. We can't edit health without effects, but like these we can control, and the stat system, kind of, not always. We can remove a player's, then the score name and their value. We can make it so they don't have a value, and this is player NBT, specified player NBT. Then we can also attach them to have a value. Add a player. You can use fictional players too. You can make up players, and as long as no one has that name in the game, it's fine. You can use trigger name, enable, and trigger name is the scoreboard objective I made for the trigger command. One of those ones. Not that big actually. I've been recording like 20 minutes. We can test if they're within a value, sort of like over there with the can we even see it? No. With the score min, we can test it. We can do operation, which is in-game math. We can, if you program this, will make sense. What plus equals is, if I could type down here, it'd be so nice. Can I? No. Okay. What minus equals means, no, x minus equals t means x equals x minus t. So we are redefining x to be whatever t is less than it was, if that makes any sense. So there's plus equals, minus equals, times equals, divide equals. This is what it is. I use slashes. Modulo, which if you don't program, don't mess with, is equal to, is less than, is greater than, or less than player and name, because you're adding or whatever one player and score to another player's and score. Okay? Kind of what I was saying. X plus equals t. If I did this, list all players with this value. And yeah, pretty much I think I've covered it all. We can set and reset their value, as well as remove it and add it. Fictional players. That's it. So where was I on stats? I was at block, XYZ. We can clear it, or we can set it. And they have the same thing as over here. Query result. I have 2 query results. Is there a query? Okay, they're supposed to be the same as over here. Affected entities, affected items, affected blocks, and success count. Are they over here? Tell me I did this side right. Affected blocks. Where am I? I'm here. Affected blocks, query result, affected entities, success count, and affected items. That's supposed to be over there. Weird. Okay, so that's a stats command. That's kind of pretty advanced. I've just covered some of the most advanced things. I'm not gonna go into NBT or JSON in this episode, video, whatever. I'll cover that later. We can summon an entity at specific coordinates with NBT. We can tell a player text, and it's a private message. Now, this is what I was talking about, JSON. But tell raw JSON is just like a say. Hold on. It's just like hitting T and typing something, which is almost the same as going say, and you have to only different brackets, right? Only Where is it? Did I even cover these? Entity data, execute. Yeah, I'm over here. Here. Basically, it won't say who said it. Like command blocks have names. If I were to give me self button, it says at whispers to you text, and that's because it actually is saying, if you tell at p this, it's saying nearest player whispered. Wait. Hold on, let me demonstrate the block data command a bit. What's its name? Custom name at. Weird, it just... Sorry, I'm just not used to seeing it like that. But TellRaw wouldn't say that at whispers. It would say whatever I told it to say in here. Test for is the test for at whatever, you know, the selectors. Test for block will find if what is like set block, it's is this here. Test for block here, this block data with this MBT. Test for blocks is kind of like clone. We're comparing this area to this area, which is a corner of one of them, and seeing if it's completely the same or contains everything the original did. It can have some extra though. Time. I just figured out the third part list now. There's time set, day, night, or a number, and there's time at a number. But there's a third thing that they had recently called time query, which you can find the daytime or the game time, and I didn't know that. How to use that one. I've been trying to figure it out though. There's title. Now, using my kind of limited knowledge of JSON, let's do something. And this will also demonstrate a bit as to how to use JSON. This is what a title is. And let me add in color too. I don't like that. Is there a background color? White? Doesn't work, okay. But it uses JSON too. But title, reset, clear. Now clear will remove whatever was just on the screen if it's still there. Subtitle will put it under what's on the screen currently. Title will put it up like it was. Reset will reset this next command block. And time, which is 3 numbers actually. It's how long does it fade in, last, and take to fade out in ticks, so 20 a second. Bear that in mind. Toggle downfall changes whether it's raining or not. I'm in a desert, so it can't rain, so I can't demonstrate. Teleport /TP for teleport. You can teleport a player to certain coordinates looking a certain Y and X direction. Or if you're running the command rather than command block, you can leave out the what entity or player. Or you can teleport a player to another player or an entity or whatever. Now trigger works just like TellRaw. TellRaw will let you click on stuff in the chat and run a command, but you have to be op to do that. Trigger will let you do that in survival, and that's what the scoreboard player's trigger reset one was. Where was that? A non-players. This one. Yeah, this one. So that's trigger. Trigger. Score. What objective. Adder set. and the value, and you can use comparators and stuff to make it run commands if they click on it. Weather, clear, rain, thunder, seconds. So you set it's like toggle downfall, only do you want it clear, raining, or thundering, and how many seconds do you want it? Or a border, this is kind of complicated. So if I go world border 5, and it's going to instantly set to 5. Five zero. Oh, sorry. World border set. This is the world border. Now, if I make it take 10 seconds to grow one, you see it's greenish when it's growing. And to shrink one as well, let's make it take 5 seconds this time. It's kind of bluish white when it's not, and it's red when it's shrinking. Now, let's set back to 50 in 5 seconds. It's fast, too. Or it can be slow. Depends on what you want. So, we set the center to be an X and Z coordinate like with spread players. Now, if I want to find out how big it is currently, I can get that. It's only 50. I can add to it a number, and then if we get it, it's 55. See? We can find a warning. The warning distance, and this only works in fancy graphics, so not me. But it's a hazy red on the edge of the screen. Or the time, if it's shrinking. How long does it have to be before it reaches the player, before you see that? The damage it does to the player if they're outside of it. The buffer, how far away they have to be from the border to take damage, and how much at a time. Then we can set the size and then the speed in seconds. And then the last command, I did this in under a half hour, I think, is XP, the number of XP, or the number of levels to who. And that is every command in the game. Hold on. Let me add 50. And you can add negative numbers too. And I think add will accept time as well. Add 15 over 5 seconds. Yeah, it accepts time. Okay, but that's every command. This isn't a redstone tutorial video or anything. If you want my advice for that sort of stuff, a Sethbling redstone with a Mojangster. It's 4 episodes, I think 2 hours total, but he covers all the pre 1.5 basics of redstone. Not much has changed, honestly. And because if we look at it, we have new doors, we have but really we've just got hoppers and redstone box and daylight detector. Most of this stuff you'll figure out how it works, but that video will basically get you through the basics of how all this stuff works. Nope, and then you'll learn stuff like note blocks, TNT, the various pressure plates. I think weren't covered in it. They might have been. Data detector and this stuff. You can learn that later. Hoppers, however, I recommend after you see that making kind of a priority. They actually took me longer to learn than all this stuff here. But yeah, that's everything. I might keep this up to date as I add new commands and stuff. But don't hold your breath, yeah. NBT, I'm going to I'll make a video for the NBT not the stat system. There's plenty of videos on that. You know, not MBT either. I'll have link in this playlist. I'll have some good videos attached. I might do my own. Probably not either. Don't hold your breath for that. Yeah, that's just cool. But yeah, I've got all the commands currently in the game. I think I will make a video for NBT later, but let's cover stat right now. Okay, so stat, if I go scoreboard, objectives, add, name, and I hit enter so we can see, hit tab, we're going to get a ton of options. First is going to be like stat dot use item dot Minecraft.gunpowder. Okay. There's stat. There's achievement. Achievement is used for the achievement command, duh. But you can use it with scoreboard if you want. But typically you just use stat. And you can, and same other way. There's stat dot craft item. There's stat dot kill entity dot whatever kind of entity. Entity killed by whatever kind of entity. Craft item. And then it's dot Minecraft dot whatever its name is or its number. Yeah. And use item. Whatever it is. And I think there's whoa. Play 1 minute, player kill. Okay, basically, all this is statistics. All this, everything that could be here but isn't. Time for an item, times depleted, crafted, and used. Blocks times crafted, used, and mined. And in general, all that's on the stat system. And achievements, which if I go achievement give, I've shown that, never mind. I have a really, I'm thesagoraphobic, and I have a really poor short-term memory. It's kind of ironic. Okay, color system you saw, MBT. Let me just give you a few examples of MBT. Time set 0. Okay, if I summon a creeper or a chicken. Okay, entity data at E, open close. This is all the data of that chicken, right? So let's kill the chicken. I should have to punch it that many times. This, from here on, is all the data of that item. And this XP orb. There too. Item, entities here. Now if we summon what I had planned on summoning, which was a creeper. Sorry, difficulty 3. We can see all of its MBT. So that's some mob NBT. Does it have like no AI and stuff? That's the tags. So let me just also demonstrate one. No AI 1. That creeper can't move. I basically just made this creeper a statue. It can't do anything. It can despawn, but only if I go into peaceful. Okay. Block data also works sort of the same way. There's a command blocks NBT, but a command block's kind of lame. Let's get a chest filled with a bunch of random items. of different numbers, kind of. In different places and stuff. So let's take a look at this chest's block data, shall we? Like that. It's that big. It's all that MBT. So, that's some demonstration of MBT. I really don't think I'll go into it. You can check the wiki, find everything you can want. As for command blocks themselves, once you've gotten one, you can just middle click, but you can also a Minecraft command block minecart, which is kind of cool because it runs commands some 8 times a second, I think. You're on an activator rail empowered. Sorry, you're not on an activator rail. You're on a detector rail. If they're on an activator rail. And so that's how fast they say hi. That's how quickly they can run commands. There are, of course, a bunch of other ways to get command blocks, command block minecarts, but those are some of the best, honestly. Give the player them. Yeah. This has been fun, and honestly, it really wasn't that big of an area to cover. I'm going to add an annotation saying, if you want to skip my rambling on nothingness, click here. But that's all I have for you guys, so watch it on the playlist. And yeah, I will see you then. Bye.